cycle, but it all seems wrong. All these things, all this love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cass with a K. I'm gonna be bringing you an in-game tournament here at the 3v3 U.S. Open Cup. And joining me today, as you can clearly read at the bottom, is Simler the Right, making it the Right and Casters crew right here on blgtv.net. So Simler, buddy, you just got back from work. How you feeling?
Dude, I am burnt out, but we have a BLC tourney to come home to. How could we not be happier? I am one happy guy right now, man. Excited as always to see some of the best U.S. players turn out for this. And dude, just all around, happy to be here. How's it going, man?
Dude, I'm feeling fresh. You know, I got a lot of stuff done today. You know, I had work this morning and then wrote down 38 things that I had to do. And I got about 20 of them done. So I was like, you know what? I might as well reward myself and just, you know, go on and play.
Well,
So-
yeah, I mean, playing,
Well,
casting,
play. I mean,
playing. It's all the
casting.
same.
You
It's all
know,
the same, bro.
it's child's
Come on.
play to me to go commentate. I mean, come on now. So,
Music.
looks like brackets. Brackets are done, but the games have not started yet. We're gonna have to see what kind of teams are here. Breezin 101. You enjoy myself, Obregon, and Arborist. So
Now, I have a little inside info on this team here.
Really?
Arborist just whispered me, and they will be running Double Guardian Blood Priest.
Double Guardian Blood Priest.
Double Guardian Blood Priest. If that isn't baller, I don't know what is.
That's gutsy. I'll tell you that right now. Blood Priest has to be offensive, but the Guardians can heal themselves, so it
Exactly.
works out.
Guardians have, Disperse, they have the self-heal, they got the Chains of Zex. I mean, hopefully, that'll give Obregon the space that he needs on Blood Priest to be able to put some of that damage out and not hurt himself trying to keep them up.
That's
So, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this. There's going to be a lot of AoE flying around, and the triple ulti is what I'm really excited about, man. If they can pull that off, that's just going to be devastating.
Two Cyclonics after a corpse explosion.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
Double
Instant
dots, just, oh my god, this is going to be so good. It's
I don't
gonna be
even think they'll be able to do that because it does so much damage. I mean, you got 30 plus the bleed, then another 30 plus another, 40 from the corpse explosion?
Yeah. It's going to be insane.
That's
if
an
they,
instant
if they
give
manage to
almost.
pull that off, I'm probably going to sound like a little girl screaming on here. Just warning you all. Because that is going to be some insane damage coming out. I don't see how you can survive that, how you can live through that. If somebody doesn't get insta-gibbed by that, they're doing something wrong. I mean, come on. But
Dragons?
Dude.
Do you want to see the Dragons on crack game? Or do you want to see something a little bit more even? I got Team Lulalol and then Gummy Bears. Oh, that doesn't seem very even, though. Division rank 3 in Diamond versus, like, Division 2 Iron. See, it's always hard to find a game early on in these brackets that are good. Well, okay, here's a 31 seed versus a 34 seed. So we'll observe this one, as I'm sure there's nobody going to be watching this one. I'm the first observer in fact.
But now, look at us. Both of the casters in here. These guys, they got to be feeling money right now.
I know. Humans with a pulse, and then some random guys. So some random guy has a human, is a human, and he has a pulse. And I did not get an observer bug as the game already started, so, not going to have their team names up because it just took me a little while to decide what I was going to go and commentate. But, Ice Arrow almost on Monkey Face there, and he's going to miss that Shadow Bolt even though they were stuck on the channel, so a little bit of a misplay. And it looks like nice blitz by Chips, as we are going to be having an Astronomer, Harbinger, and Seeker versus a Harbinger Randed Alk. And, this is going to be, hopefully a nice rush down from this cold team here, as it looks like, oh, man, Alk, or Astronomer getting a Shadow Bolt and then pulled in. Monkey Face gonna be, getting his Dark Ward off. And, oh, my goodness, it's a 2-2 situation, as we already did have Spud take out one of the Worm team. And in the meantime, Monkey Face did take out one on the cold side. Good Shadow Bolt right there. Blood Grip in. Chips can't do anything. Blitz on through. He's going to get Affliction, and you cannot illusion a Plague, or should I say an Affliction, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot do that. It is not one of those ground targetable AoEs that you can use a counterattack on.
Such as Mortar, for example.
Yeah, Mortar, Volcano. You can use it on those, but you can't use it on Affliction right there. But
yeah, Monkey Face, man, the MVP there, dude. He was just landing Shadow Bolt after Shadow Bolt, landing his pulls, just doing his job. Chips couldn't do
Affliction
a thing about
actually
it.
tons of affliction damage. So he hit it when all the Cold Team was grouped up in the bottom right, if you got in that early.
Just brutal, just brutal. And, ooh, nice. Like, gonna get a little bit of Randed Burst in there, and he's decided to go in there offensive, but he doesn't trance that. He doesn't proc that trance. Good job by Brack. In the meantime, though, he is getting worked over hard by Spud and Norger. Already at 50% HP. Barrier out to stop that Shadow Bolt damage, though, but he's still going to have that debuff on him. He needs to avoid taking damage right now, but he is sitting on a full ulti. Let's see if he can get some lined up here. I see him getting in position. Now I'm going to Frog Leap away, and, just going to get one there, but Monkey Face in the meantime getting worked over by Chips. Nice pull there. He's going to go ahead and space out of that, and we're going to have a bit of a cluster in here in the middle. Lots of damage, and lasers come out from Norger. Is he going to be picking off anybody? No, he is not. Lasers and Bracky both sitting pretty low, though, and Spudbot. Both ultis here from the Harbs, just M1ing each other. Nobody's going to die in that situation. And in the meantime, Bracky with the kill onto Chips. Nordir sitting here, going to go ahead and space away, but it's not going to be enough. He needs to get a Nether out there to try and heal himself up a bit, get some of this branded pressure off of him, but that's not going to happen. Ulti comes out from Bracky, and that's going to seal the deal. Boom goes the Astro, and in the meantime, Monkey just rocking that Harp. Oh my god.
Whoever said apes were primitive, this guy's clearly more advanced than the others. Must have been like the alpha gene for the human species. As he's rocking. I mean, he's really doing some great damage. And, you know, he's using more affliction than Spud over there. You know, Spud's just, you know, throwing it down every now and then. But you really see Monkey throwing it down all the time. And that does, you know, damage and healing, or damage to your opponents and healing to you as a Harbinger. And it puts affliction, or not affliction, hemorrhage on, and it applies a slow. So it's really good. And Nether Shift used a little bit too soon. Deadly Injection is going to do that damage, as it looks like we got Bracky doing a nice frog leap right there onto Chips, getting knocked back with the arrow. As Lazors, oh no, he is not going to be really able to do too much clarity back, but Spud just getting all over him. Here we go, pressure from the Cold Team coming out right now. Monkey could be going down pretty soon, as the Astronomer is just running away after that nice trance. Lazors could. Is he going to be able to get his goo off? Yes, he is, but he's going to die in an Ice Arrow, as that was a double cast from Chips. And in the meantime, it looks like the Astronomer did take out the Harbinger, and Bracky is going to be the only one left for the Swarm team. So, you know, good combinations there by Chips onto the Alchemist after we saw, what's his name, Sput, you know, do a little bit of damage over on the Worm team's Alchemist side. So, you know, it's not that Monkey is just like so much troll face than everybody else. He actually got a little bit countered right there, and he actually triggered the Astronomer trance quite a couple times. And the Astronomer was playing much more aggressive. You know, look at that, 71 Spectro Strike damage. They weren't expecting that on the Worm team, and that gives them 2-1.
I'm happy that Astro is getting that Spectral Strike out there, because that debuff that it puts on there is pretty huge for stopping any kind of pressure that Monkey can put out. And look at this, you know, humans, they are showing a pulse after all, taking a round there. But nice opening up from Lasers, getting a long range, max range sleep there onto Nordia, going to stop any kind of heals. But Spudbot just deciding to go in there, maybe a bit too deep, because Bracky's coming back, going to help Lasers out. And Spud, nice Nether Shift up there, but he is so low right now. I don't agree with him going out all alone, 2v1 like this. Goo comes out from Lasers, but it's not going to hit anybody. And Nordia going to go ahead and space in, try and get some heals onto Spud right now. He needs to get some heals onto him, and no, it doesn't come out. Would have liked to see an Aurora, but Bracky, oh no, nice. Bracky face, arrow, fire arrow, so much damage. Not going to survive it. And Chips kind of just chilling there, you know, he's got his ulti going right now, and Seekers can put out some insane burst with it, but Monkey Face going to laugh and nail him with a Shadow Bolt. Not going to be enough.
Yeah, nope. And I mean, Chips, 12.2, good damage, good control, as you know, expect from a Seeker. Well,
yeah,
you know,
Seekers, man, they are just so strong right now. So strong. And I'm glad to see that he's kind of coming into his own here.
Yeah, and I mean, but Sput right there, as you said, completely overextended. You know, he was just running, like, I don't even know why he was doing that much. You know, you need heals. You're Harbinger, yeah, you can hemorrhage up, but if they're running away, you're not going to be able to get all those M1s off. You know, you got the Deadly Injection right there. Now you're doing half damage and half healing. So really, you become pretty useless as a Harbinger, as it looks like. Good job by Brack. Over here, Bracky, I suppose, and he's just going to get a Frog Leap onto Chip. Shadow Bolt comes out, but that's going to be Illusion. Instant trance right now for that Illusion onto the Seeker, as it looks like, what just happened to Sput there? He just sort of keeled over, and really no contest whatsoever, as it really didn't do much damage onto Monkey or Lazors. What happened there, Sim?
Yeah, it looks like everybody kind of just went on their own little 1v1 duels, and Cold Team came out below. You know, Warm Team came out ahead. My bad. That's what I was going for. But Warm Team definitely won those 1v1 duels, and Cold Team, Humans with the Pulse, they just weren't able to recover. Not enough coordination coming out from them. You don't want to go into those 1v1 situations. You always want to make it a 2v1 or a 3v1. 1v1 is almost always going to be a losing strategy. But, yeah, it's just didn't work out for them. And then, Goo comes out, Norgir had just spaced into it. It was too much damage at that point for them to get the breather that they needed to be able to recover from that situation. And Spudbot right now already getting worked over by Monkey Face. Monkey Face landing a nice little nether, gonna get Hemo out onto him, and nice. Turns around, boom, lands that pull onto Chips and Monkey and Bracky just going to work right now. Good coordination out of the both of them to capitalize on that pull. You get silenced by that pull and you're just not coming out of it. And there we go, Warm Team wrapping this up by 1 pretty convincingly.
Okay, so one thing I want to question is why, if they have Monkey Face and Brack as melee, did the Astronomer only do a Moonburst? He didn't even M1. And did he trance? No, he did not trance whatsoever when he was being pressured. So, not exactly sure why that didn't happen that last round. You got to use your abilities when people are in close.
That's kind of like a beginning healer syndrome. You'll notice sometimes where instead of using all their abilities the way they should be, when they're under pressure, they'll just be like, oh shit, I have to heal right now, right away. Hold down M2 as hard as I can. Come on, heal faster. And that's like the mindset that they get into. They think that they can heal through the damage when, no, they should be using their abilities and they should be dodging. If you're not taking damage, you don't need to be healing. So just dodge. But, he was just standing there, just letting them rack those M1s and abilities up on him, and he was just holding down M2 like a pro. And no, it's just not going to work, man. You're not going to be able to live through that. BLC is not designed that way.
Yeah, no, this isn't like World of Warcraft where you can out-heal damage. Like,
oh my god,
you
don't
only,
break it up.
you only have certain amounts of temporary healing that you can do. And by the time you can get like 1 heal off, they can pretty much get 2 M1 strikes, which do about the same amount or more of damage that you can do healing. So it's not worth it to just stand there and M2 all day. You do have to dodge. And, as an Astronomer, he deals with melee pressure so easily. Not only does he do 10 extra damage when he has all of his, stacks on, so he can do a hit for 22, but it slows him by 33% and reduces the damage and healing they do by 33%. So, that way, if he just did an M1 and then started healing, he could actually heal through it more. Or if he just M1'd, healed, then tranced, then M1 again, then he could get that debuff onto 2 different targets, and that would have, allowed them to survive and maybe put up a fight. Also, I would have liked to have seen a Moonstone. CC them if they're in melee range. Just throw it on top of you. Shift, and then click that Moonstone ability. So, it's
not
right
only
there.
that, but Astro, not only, is it imperative that you land that Spectral Strike there. If you're under pressure, boom, it should be like your first reaction to turn around, M1 them in the face, and then maybe start healing. But you've got that potential, that burst potential to really make them pay for jumping on you. Because if you land that first M1 and then they proc your trance, boom, you smack them again with your Spectral Strike. And hey, look at that. You just did 50 damage to them. And they have a debuff on them. You just scared them away from getting on top of you because they just took 50 damage to the face right away. Like, it just completely makes them reconsider that. So, you got to think about these things where it's like, people space in on you as Astro. Sometimes it's in your advantage to turn around and go offensive on them. Land that M1 into a Moonstone. Land that M1 into your trance. Just like shake the games up again. Shake it up a bit because most of the time DPS are thinking, oh, I'm going on the healer. He's just going to spaz out and go ultra defensive and try and heal and try and CC me. They're not expecting you to just turn around and start owning them in the face. That's another thing you got to think about. It's like mind games, healer mind games. You got to take into consideration.
Yeah, and if you check out Team Ooga Booga Booga. You know what, Zant? He's like the best Astronomer out there for 3s. Foda,
Beast.
Foda's a beast, but he's used to like playing too, so he's used to being like way more aggressive. Zant, he's just waiting for his time to go in. But
snake in the grass, man.
Yeah, he really is. But another thing that happens too is you notice like when they were facing in Soviet Russia, Jackasm really didn't try and go onto Zant. Because, he knows that Astronomer can just deal so much damage to him. It's like, okay, he harpoons in, he's able to get an M1 off before, the Spearmaster can land. Like, you can start priming it before he actually reaches the ground. And since Kunju is a 0.2 second cast time, like you can actually time that, and he does it too. You can time it so by the time the Spearmaster lands, he doesn't have time to get his Kunju off, so he can't counterattack. And then that's already done like 25 damage. If you decide to like Whirling Blade or Shuriken or something else, you trance that's another 25 damage. And then also you got the Moonstone, you can space out, and just tons of options. So melee pressure really doesn't go onto an Astronomer, and just throwing those abilities out the M1. I mean, healer archetypes in this game, sort of like tank archetypes, they're not sword and board. Vanguard, you can play ultra aggressive with him. You can get that taunt off, and then you can just go with your M1 rage stacks, and then just go to town.
Absolutely.
You're not just sitting there back and tanking damage. I don't even know. You don't have anything to really.
Vanguard may not be the best example, just because if he doesn't land that taunt, he's not doing a damn thing.
Thorn.
He's just going to be
Guardian.
sitting there. But Thorn, Guardian,
Inhibitor, especially Inhibitor. Man,
especially
he can do
it's
so much damage, especially when played by Rex.
Those guys are kind of like the examples of how tank classes are a bit too strong, how they're a bit too easy to put damage out with. They shouldn't be putting out quite that much damage. And Vanguard is actually kind of a good example of he's a bit closer to what what a tank should be, because he has to land an ability to be able to do that stupid damage.
Yeah.
Because if you got a Vanguard coming up on you with 3 stacks, he lands those 3 M1s on you.
It's 25 damage.
Oh, yeah. Boom. Sorry, you just last like 75% of your, or 75 health, or 60 health, or however much. It's just like, it's a lot of burst, but he has to land that ability to be able to do that burst.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Inhibitor, granted you have to land your 3 stacks, but you can set it up so that it's really easy to do that. You land your silence on them, and boom, they got a snare on them. It's easier to land those M1s. Guardian, you got your 4 stacks on you. Boom, you just hit that 26 damage into whatever you want. It's Thorn, you got quite a bit of burst damage out of him too. It's
spores, 15 to like 20 damage. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy fungal spores, man. Like max range fungal spores. I mean, you're taking like 24 damage for 24 damage each.
Are you?
It's yeah.
I thought it was static damage, not based off of range. Yeah, no, it's deals 14 damage, and then you do an extra 6 damage on your second one, so it goes 14 to 20. So you're looking at 20.
That's what it is. I'm thinking
30,
about the 20, the second one.
34
Where I'm saying
damage.
big numbers, and I'm going like, whoa! Why is Thor doing so much damage to me?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, and I mean, it's like you can slow him to 20% as well, and that's huge. And if you have 2 thorns, you can actually do even more damage. So,
let's not talk about 2 thorns and
two thorns. It'd just be a jungly mess, and you don't want to go there.
No, you don't. It is beatable. It comes down to exploiting the Cabbage Patch. They're let me see here. They're treacherous roots. You force that out of them, and then they're just like any other tank. They're like any other meat shield. You can just punish them for it. But getting them to use it and not using an ability on it so that you're snared, it's difficult. It's difficult. So it's definitely a beatable comp. If you're deciding to like, oh man, yeah, I should totally run double Thorn now. That sounds so broken. It's like, well, somebody who like thinks about it is going to be able to beat you.
Yeah, it's in the lower brackets. It might actually work.
You'll probably have the most fun ever playing Double Thorn. But
do you have experience of this similar? Maybe. Oh, you little cheeser. Oh man. Oh man.
Well, it's not as much. It doesn't come anywhere close to Stalker Astro. I'll give you that much, man. Stalker Astro, that's the most fun I've had playing this game in a long time.
Yeah, you got the end caps, which set up just for like the astronomers space in. They can't even get out of there. You can just
silly. It's silly. You got the end cap setting up for the Astro's Moonburst, who then spaces in, and you guys are both doing your M1 damage. And really, it's just a matter of getting up to Stalker's ult. Once Stalker's ult is up, somebody dies. It's just that simple. It's the most like face roll comp out there. It's pretty silly. And the only thing that stops it, or who makes it more difficult to pull off, is Pomp. Because Pomp has other side and Pomp has silence. Just that healer is the only thing that's really stopping Stalker Astro from being like the, oh my god, like ridiculous twos stomper. But yeah, Stalker Astro, so much damage. Her ulti damage, when you start, you start landing those M1s off of her, then you space M1, space M1, space M1. 30 damage, 30 damage, 30 damage, 30 damage, and you can easily do like 100, 120 damage, off a single ult. It gets pretty silly.
Yeah. Okay, so Quick Strike, it deals 13, 15, or 17 based off of consecutive hits. And then your Shadow Hunt, it applies 8 extra bonus damage. But also, when you use Deviate, which is your spacebar, it increases damage by 20%. So instead of it being 13, 15, 17, it really turns into 21, 23, and 25. Increase that by 20%. So what? Instead of 23, you're looking at 27. Yeah, 27, 29, and then like 32.
32, and then you start getting back hits. You're hitting for 36, and it just gets ridiculously out of hand. It gets ridiculous, really fast.
So as soon as Stalker uses a Shadow Hunt,
just run away.
Yeah,
but even that you can't do now because they reduced her deviate to the 3-second cooldown. If you don't land that quick strike, it's like, okay, cool, just chill out for 3 seconds, and I'll be on you again. And you've got puncturing strikes to close distance as well. So really, like, it's like, okay, Pomp, steroid ult, yeah, you can run away from her. There's not a lot she can do to close distance without using other side. Like, why would you do that as with Guardian Spirit on you? But Stalker is it's a whole different ball game. Have fun getting away. That is a terrible idea.
Because when you use Shadow Hunt, it does a displacing ability. It acts like a spacebar. Then you have your Deviate up, which is your true spacebar. So even if you use your Shadow Hunt and they space away, you can use your Deviate and then get on them from there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Really, I feel like she is the ultimate counter to Astro. And a well-played Alchemist and a well-played Pomp can make your life a little bit more difficult. But Herald, Astro, and Blood Priest, they don't stand a flaming chance against Stalker right now. Not a chance. If you let Stalker get on one of them, every cooldown that they use, you'll have a counter for it. It's silly. It's absolutely silly.
Simile, you want to get into the game here, buddy?
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, it would. So we're going to be watching Taz. That's why he's not commentating with me today. Also, the Riot crew, the Rioting crew here likes to take on the nighttime tournaments, the late night owls. And Taz actually, you'll see how scrubbish he can be. Here.
What is he deciding to play? I'm wondering.
He's playing
He's been
Stalker.
playing a lot of Guardian lately.
Stalker. Come on, look. He's already picked, son. Get your eyes open.
Character selection. I didn't click character selection. I can't join it.
Are you a newborn? You have your eyes not open yet?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm not wearing my glasses.
Not wearing your glasses? Uh-oh. You better invite me to this game, because I feel black screen bug.
Oh, no. Well, it's still in character selection, so...
Oh.
What is the team name?
What? You didn't even... You left? You left yourself?
I wasn't in to begin with.
What? I told you to get in. What are you doing?
Yeah, I follow you religiously.
You're slacking. You are slacking.
Slacking? Look at this. Look at this guy.
It says it's in character selection, but I think it's because of the bug. Because they were loading in-game.
Okay, I'm trying to find it now. This is not going well.
Yeah, it says it's still in character selection, so...
We'll have to just wait a little bit.
Yeah, I want to see Taz. I really do want to see him play.
We got to tear him a new one.
I know. That's what we're going to do. We're a little bit more brutal than, Kill the King.
We go.
You got it?
And it's, nope. Please wait for it to go in-game. They're taking their sweet time.
Yeah.
Somebody is playing mind games right now. They're waiting. They're trying to set them off the game. It's a little bit harder to pull in here, 30 seconds only to wait, but, it's still kind of annoying for some teams to have to wait that 30 seconds. And add that up, a minute and a half in the character select, it could be a good little strategy. Just a little poke.
Update. Taz told me that Canadian crashed, so I think they get a free win based off of that. That or they're waiting for a reconnect to happen. And that means
hop in here
that's
right
why
now.
it's sort of bugging out, because somebody crashed while it was doing that observer bug thing, and it's still deciding if they're still in the character loading and whatnot.
Right. I'm on my 6th attempt to connect. This isn't going well.
It's not going well? No bueno?
It's not working out. Come on now.
Similar, you're just full of problems today.
I know. Look at this. Just falling apart. One of your eyes.
Kid falls apart after work. I come back from work, and then...
Yeah, look at this guy.
I go and shoutcast tourneys, but...
I'm not doing anything right now. I'm just kind of enjoying myself talking into the mic.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, what do you do? Build furniture or something like that?
I am I suppose a salesman and web designer.
Salesman and web designer. I thought it was for like a French furniture making company or something.
It is French hardware. We import French hardware. thegoldenlion.com if you guys want to go check out the website I've been working on for
that sounds like some kind of strip club or something. The Golden
Lion. I'm sure my boss would love to hear that.
Whoops. Hopefully he's not watching the stream. But who knows? Regardless, we're going to be watching this Room versus Banana Warfare team. And these guys, they were decked out. Roughly the same score. It's a 52 to 48% hidden rating matchup. So, they've got the same grade. We got
let me know when I pick your character selection, man.
Salaz. We got Salaz K. The Diablo. That's a
Woohoo.
devil of a name. It's not salsa, and I'm hungry. It's not salsa and chips. It's Salaz K.
Look at his stomach talking already. Come
I
on,
know.
kid. How old are you? Like, still in puberty? You gotta eat like 24 hours a day.
Whoa. I'm 21. I'm still a growing man. And
Growing boy.
I'm
I
a growing
see.
boy, son.
So, we got that southeastern accent
Son.
coming out.
Better you don't watch out what you say, son. I'll put you in
Oh,
your
my
place.
I'm from the West Coast, dude. Don't pull that stuff on me. Nice.
Are we getting black
Yep,
screen bug?
I'm in.
Oh, you're in, but it is black
Loading it
screen
up.
bug. So I'm gonna join up right now. See what I did there? I actually had my cursor over the leave game button, so if that black screen bug happened, I could get right back in. Eh? There it is.
Genius. Thinking ahead. That's a good caster for you, right there.
Genius.
That's why cast is the boss.
Look at that. Didn't miss a minute of action. It's, I think similar. It's your turn to, step up onto the deck.
All right, let's do this. And nice, Kozaru. I like this aggression coming out from him. Deciding to space in on a Neon, try and get that Spectral Strike. What we've been talking about out onto him. Gonna space in again, try and get some heals. And nice Spectral Strike onto Neon. Neon taking quite a bit of damage right now. Thorn going to work with the M1s, but forced to other side. Nether Shift, though, bit of a miscommunication there. Used 2 of their outs. That is not good. That may cost them. But nice, look at this. Tractor Beam coming out from the NG. I love it. We don't see enough of that ability. But a good pull in from Salas. Gonna nail him with the Shadow Bolt. Ulti comes out from Salas. He's in God mode right now, but gets in capped. Thorn Wall comes out as well. Another shift onto Virati, though. He is gonna try and get over here to peel for Zolar and give him some time to heal up. And no, his ulti does not come out. Koraru just gonna Spectral Strike him down. I'm liking this Koraru style. Lots of aggression coming out, but he gets nailed by Guardian Spirit. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, you do not stand next to an angry Pomp. It's gonna cost you. And Virati, 2v1 right now. Thorn may be good right now, but not good enough. Gonna get taken out. But that, my friend, was an exciting first round. I like it. And look at this. Neon sporting the new Pomp skin.
Is he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at this. New
Corrupted
skins.
Psycho Pomp.
I'm liking it, man. Demonic.
Dude, you like them horns?
Mm-hmm.
Take life by the horns, man. Take life by the horns. But, one thing I wanted to mention right there is Salaz. If you notice his ultimate, he did nothing with it. He used Shadow Bolt before his ultimate was up, and when you have your ultimate up, Dark Ward, as a Harbinger, you can spam Shadow Bolts. But he didn't have it up, and then the Engineer in-capped him, and he just couldn't get in range to do any kind of damage. A complete waste. As, whoa, what happened to my voice right there? As Hulkin, look at this, in-cap, nice job from Engie. And he's just using that on targets that aren't going to be, taken out of the fight real quick. And that's going to set up for the rest of his team to do damage, on, other targets. And then they switch on to him eventually and take him out. So nice play right there. And Virati just going to be using his ultimate pretty soon. Not exactly sure when he's going to use it. No, he's not even going to use it. He's like, I'm a boss. I don't even need it until the last second. So that he can sport it off. Look at that. Demons. It used to just be this little circle around your feet. And then they changed the graphic for Dark Ward, in which you turn into demon mode. I think it was pretty awesome.
It is so cool. By far one of the coolest ults in the game. Hands down.
And where you step, it shows burnt footprints.
It's just by far the coolest thing, man. That is why, Harv is amazing right now. He has got the best Celebrate in the game, and doing his little dance. And, Dark Ward. That is so cool.
Dude,
but look at this. Virati. Oh, nice. Koraru, again, being really offensive, getting a nice little combo off there. But he is vulnerable right now, and will Cold Team be able to take advantage? He doesn't have trance. He doesn't have space to get out of that tight situation. And Hulkin, wow, for a Thorn, he took quite a bit of damage. Look at this. Virati getting to work on him. No, going to get Thorned out, or rooted out. Nice. Dodges that Shadow Bolt. And Zolarin with the ulti onto Koraru. Koraru taking so much damage. Lasers come out. Is he going to be able to get anybody with it? But no, largely ineffective. Doesn't do a thing. But Moonburst onto a Neon. Neon's going to other side out of it, though. Right now, Worm Team just surviving by the slimmest of margins. No health on anybody. Koraru is looking pretty low. And Thornwall comes out. Nice catch there. But no, Space and Nether Shift both available to get the Cold Team out of there. Not going to do nearly as much damage as he wanted it. And all of Worm Team right now taking so much pressure. They are not looking good. 1 M1, 2 M1s, and that is it too much damage. You know, you're gonna play an offensive style. You need to be able to handle yourself. Can't be taking damage like that. And Neon with the troll gonna go ahead and use that EX base, and that's gonna wrap it up. But yeah, man, you know, you're gonna play a bit of an offensive style like that. And look at this, we got a little bit of a taunt coming out from that short little NG.
Short little. I missed it. I missed it. What did you do?
You're missing everything. You're missing everything.
Dude, I'm showing the scoreboard. I'm showing the important stuff, man. I'm Mr. Analysis. That's my middle name.
Mr. Analysis, you know, but come on.
George Cass with a K, Mr. Analysis S. I'm not going to reveal my last name. You got to take me out for a nice steak dinner to get that. And look at this. You know, Salah's just aiming in the middle of nowhere. Like, I don't even know where his cursor was at that point. Look at this. Koraru, my bad, I've been watching too much anime, is just going in. Nice trance right there. He's just going to walk on out, you know, solar charges. He's going to heal up Hulkin a little bit because he's been taking exorbitant amounts of damage. Plague is spread to everyone, not so good. And look at this, Neon might have just mind transferred himself into a bad spot, as it looks like Zolarin just going to use the enlarge, take 50% less damage. We had another shift from Verratti, but, you know, he's just going to get shifted on in, and it's Astral Beam does come out. And nice job right there. We're going to be seeing maybe one round pickup for this Worm side, but it's not over yet because Verity's just spamming out the Shadow Bolts with his Dark Ward and, you know, gets that pull in. Not able to get that Shadow Bolt off, and I don't know how far these two can go. It's a Psycho Pump and a Harbinger. A good Harbinger, you know, I'll remind you, because Verity has always been like near the top of the charts every time, but look at that, getting comboed so hard right there. It could be the end of days for him as no Nether Shift and Other Side come out. That's leaving Neon in a bad spot, and he had nothing to help himself out. You know, he saw that Verity didn't use his Nether Shift quick enough, threw out the Other Side, trying to be a good healer, but you know, that's where communication as a team really needs to happen. It's like, I got Nether Shift up, don't use Other Side on me, save yourself. There was no kind of communication like that. Blew two major outs, and that, you know, forced the loss very quickly.
Yeah, you know, it also comes down to positioning. Neon was standing a bit out in the open. You know, she was a bit too close, within space range of Kararu. You know, it's a bit too close for Worm Team to be giving Other Side out like that. I know it was a tough situation. You know, you have to provide that support to your DPS. But leaving yourself wide open to take damage, that's too much of a risk. And right now we're having a bit of a duel going on between Salas and Barati just going to work on Salas. You know, already got like 30% HP, getting a little bit of heals up from Koraru, but gets trapped in that Moonstone, and that's going to stop any kind of pressure that he can put out. And a bit of a missed Thorn, but no, nice! Thorn with the pull into his ult, and nice. Koraru and Hulkin working together as a team, that's what we love to see, coming out and getting that kill. And this is, once again, a 2v3. Nice situation to be in for Worm Team. And can Cold Team come out from this? Salah's being a good little boy, keeping the teeps up, as normal guy would say, using that Bloodline Medallion. And right now, oh man, that is the problem. You got to keep it on fixed camera, free camera. And here we go. Nice 2v2, 2v3. And Zolarin just trying to get to work here. Gets pulled back into Thorns, though. And is he going to get out of it? He does get out of it, but Neon isn't so lucky. Gets capitalized on, and that seals that. 2-3, 2 rounds for Worm Team. I'm liking this comeback, guys.
Dude, I'm liking it, too. And right there, I mean, Verity did beat Salaz in the 1v1 Harbinger duel. But Hulkin, you know, you got the Thorn ultimate, and if you get pulled into it, I don't think Zolarin had any kind of way to get out of there. And, oh no, it was Verity. Verity didn't have any way to get out. And he got pulled back in. And, you know, it just comboed up with, I believe, Koraku. And that was, or Koraru. Yeah, why do I put another K in there?
Too much anime.
Too much K's in there, man. It's cast with a K. Everything's got to have a K in it. And I guess that's
cool.
Where it's not cool. It's just not cool enough. It has to be cool with a K. All right, here we go. Zolarin gonna be walking on out. This could be a good time for him to machine gun, but look at that. It's a little bit too late, and the little dwarf is just like, what? What went on here? Why did my teammate die? Maybe if you used your machine gun, forced him to run away, something might have happened in favor of your team, but that is not going to be the case, as this is, you know, a complete reversal of the first 3 rounds. Like, this is an absolute stomp. I don't know, like, Salaz is now winning against Verity. We got Hulkin actually not taking exorbitant amounts of damage. And Koraru, look at this. He's doing almost more damage than a Harbinger, who's considered melee DPS. He's on top of healing as well as, you know, almost damage for his team.
Yeah, that was a bit of a breakdown on Cold Team's part. They kind of fell together, and they kind of, like, all of them got into these sticky situations. And, you know, Neon had used Other Side. She didn't have Other Side down, so that left Verati with a tough choice. Do I get Zolarin with my Nether Shift, or do I get Neon? And sadly, he chose to get Zolarin out of that tough spot. which left Neon completely vulnerable to get focused. But right now, look at this. While I am talking, Hogan just gets taken out. And nice, good recovery from Cold Team right now. They're playing a bit safer, not in any of these tight spots that we've seen them in these past couple rounds, and working together better as a team, forcing Warm Team to, play to their fiddle. And oh man, just too much damage coming out right now. I don't see how Kararu can survive. He's trying to get in there and get that damage out with the Spectral Strikes, but it's not going to be enough. Puts himself in between all three of them, and that's not where you want to be as an Astro. And Machine Gun comes out from Zulrah, and that's going to finish off the Warm Team Harbinger.
Yeah. 2.4? What? How do you
Hogan just got rocked. I think what happened is he just blew his Cabbage Patch too early, maybe trying to get that snare out, or that root, but it just, giving up your one true defensive ability like that, not a good idea, because like I said earlier, you're going to get focused.
Yeah. No, and you got to wait for the pulls. You gotta wait for something to happen. Maybe if Salaz gets a grip off himself. And look at that, 52 damage taken right off the bat. Hulken didn't go in at the same time as Salaz. Salaz used his Nether Shift to get in. And you know what? That's a major core of Harbinger's play to get on out of the fight. If you space in, you can Nether Shift out, or if you get a grip, it leaves so many options, and you just use it to walk on in. Don't even do any damage. Don't get any healing off by hitting anyone with it. That's just poor play right there, not using your abilities wisely. And there are offensive and defensive abilities in this game for a reason, so you have options and ways to get on out of a fight. But if you're using it all just to go in, then what are you going to use to get out? Because the higher up you go in the ladder, the more they're going to punish you for that kind of thing. And right there, we're seeing a little bit of coordination, and that wrapped things up quite swiftly.
It's exactly that. The higher up you get, the more your mistakes are going to be taken advantage of. And right there, Cold Team, they were smart about it, probably called it out. They were like, hey, this guy doesn't have Nether Shift, and he just spaced in. What are we going to do about this? We are going to stomp his face. And that's exactly what they did. They made him pay for using those abilities, those defensive abilities early, and not giving themselves those ways out. And, it's just, this is the sort of thing that you'll learn from playing more and from watching higher level play. You just kind of pick up on these little nuances, like, maybe I should be trying to, use a bit more of the mind games and not, use these early, really crucial abilities so early on in the beginning of the fight. Maybe you want to use it early so that you'll have it. You can use it again, maybe like 2-3 times throughout the fight. If you're thinking long term. But then in that situation, you can't be taking damage if you're going to try and make that call. You just can't be leaving yourself open to get punished so hard like that. You're in the middle of nowhere with 3 people around you who are looking to kill you, and you got no outs.
Yeah. And if anything, as a Harbinger, you have a blood grip. Why not go for that first?
That's the thing.
You can pull people to you. Thorn has a pull as well.
Grip.
Yeah.
Double grip. Double pulls. Why weren't they playing more of a zoning game, trying to land Shadow Bolts, trying to build a bit of meter, and then land that pull and capitalize on it? But instead, both of them were just kind of spacing in one after the other and using their outs and then just getting completely stomped for it. It's just teamwork and communication and, just maybe a little bit more experience in the game.
Yeah. And, we're not trying to say that there's one optimal way to play, because there are different play styles.
Absolutely. That's not what we're trying to say at all. It's just what we're seeing here.
But there are ways to maximize abilities in a certain regard. We're going to be watching Tazosaurus, who is a fellow commentator for BL Gaming, and he does, join me for the ESL Cup on Saturday. We're going to be seeing his Stalker play. Stalker, a very, very
finicky, I think is the right word.
Finicky as well as high variance hero, and not being able to play all the time because he does work and has a day job and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays it. As he's already, getting a dual expo off, using his range abilities. And, good play right here. He's actually walking out, and he ran right into that pull, but uses Deviate at the last second. And he's just going to be okay. But Bap, he used his rockets. He has no meter left, and he really didn't do much damage to Mizotu or Dr. Hellno while Twisted was trying to get onto Taz. Blazo right here getting the EX Cloak from Tazosaurus. And it looks like things are just going to be a little bit of a minor reset. Puncturing strikes into Mortar, as it looks like Dr. Hellno does have a nice goo for Taz to get into. Ice Arrow comes in as well, and that is going to force an other side from Blazo. Now Mizotu going to get on the Blazo, knowing that Blazo, as a Psycho Pump, has nothing left to get out of the fight. And here we go. He is gonna be using the Guardian Spirit pretty soon. Tazosaurus trying to distract the Alchemist, trying to make sure Twisted does not get any kind of heals whatsoever. Bap in the meantime getting another ultimate, and let's see what he can do right here. Dr. Hellno just about to die. Tazosaurus was on him with his Shadow Hunt, and yes, the Firecrackers do take him out from the gunner. Good job with the rocket launcher ultimate, but I don't think it's over yet. Mizotu still has a ton of life, and Twisted as a Thorn can do that healing right there. Bap's in a position to go down. Taz is going to get rooted a little bit. Let's see if they can do anything with this kind of, energy that they just got. Twisted going to heal for 32 with the EX Defiled Plant, and it looks like, Bap was one hit from death. Not going to go down, though. Twisted could die. Any 1 second. Taz is putting on pretty good pressure. Taz now in a bad spot. EX Ice Arrow to Fire Arrow. This could be doing enough damage. Bap, one more hit from death. Multi-arrow coming out. No, not going to happen. Not going to get that pull, as it looks like Tazosaurus is looking for blood right here. Nice Treacherous Roots up to a heal combo. And I think this is it. They are out of energy, and they are being hunted down mercilessly as we get some nice punch daggers to the back. Tazosaurus, good dodge right there. And look at that. Kid is not that bad at the game. Gotta give him some credit. Us commentators actually know somewhat how to play. And we are going to be seeing a win for the Another Tourney team over Mubba Dunga Dunga, who I think has participated in a lot of Gat Kunju tournaments, if I'm not correct.
Yes, they have, actually. They've been pretty active in all of them. It's only been for the past couple of weeks where Mizotu kind of dropped off the map, and I believe he was whoring himself out to another game. But they've been around. They've been doing very well in our tourneys, and I believe they've been participating in some of the BL Gaming tourneys recently as well. But we're already starting this off. Tazosaurus is starting to get in there pretty deep, and he got other side onto him, so he's going to decide to stay in there. And Dr. Hellno having a bit of a trouble dealing with him right now. Barrier is out, and nice sleep. But is it going to be enough to peel him off of there? Blazo and Bap, doing a good job of keeping Mizotu busy. But Tazosaurus, you don't want to stay 2v1 for too long. Forces that other side out of Blazo yet again. And Goo comes out. Very nice Goo from Dr. Hellno. They need to get a kill right here. And look at that double kill. So much damage. I love it. But real quick, Cast, coming back to that round right before this one. I think that Mizotu and Twisted probably could have got a kill out of Tazosaurus because he was separated from his teammates for so long. You had Bap and Blazo who were in the middle of the map, and Mizo was keeping them off. But had Mizo just turned around and helped Tazosaurus help Dr. Twisted get that kill on a Taz, who was all the way across the map from his healer, they probably could have got an equalizer. But, Mizo doing a good job of trying to get that kill on Bap, who was so low, but who had a healer to back him up, may not have been the optimal choice at the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. And right there, as one person, Tazosaurus, you can't kill an Alchemist. Even though you are a Stalker, it's very hard to go just one-on-one and kill an Alchemist, no matter what character you are. Bap, tricky play right there. He actually faked trying to go on out to the safe end, and he actually got an execute. Nice off onto Mizotu. Mizotu gonna have to blitz out. He has no blitz left. Firecrackers coming out from the gunner. Nice pull, though, as Bap could go down. It could be a trade 1-for-1 as Mizotu, both the ranged DPS on both teams, very close to death. We do have a Goo coming out. Dr. Hellno gonna keep Tazosaurus off of him. Cannot do all that damage with the Stalker, when he's using that Shadow Hunt ultimate. So it looks like Dr. Hellno was able to survive just a bit, but he could not heal up Mizotu in time. And it looks like Bap, getting off some great executes while having that fancy, I think that's the worm gun skin right there. And look at that, 603. Wow. That's a ton of damage, and he was being he was being pressured the most on their team, so that's good. But they just didn't combo onto him enough. They didn't do applied dual pressure from Thorn and Seeker to make sure that he couldn't get all of that damage off. So I'd like to see maybe a little bit more burst onto that gunner and see what they can do similar.
And Taz just doing an excellent job of making sure that Dr. Hellno is using Barrier on himself and not able to give it out to any of his teammates, So the fact that, Barrier is used and Dr. Hellno's attention is so, focused on himself, trying to keep himself alive, and Taz is, relentless assault, somebody else on the team is going to die. And right now, we're seeing just that. Mizotu getting nice and separated here from the rest of his team. Bap and Blazo doing a good job of zoning him out, but Taz taking quite a bit of damage from Dr. Hellno. It looks like Twisted learned his lesson. He's coming back to heal for Doctor and not giving Taz such an easy job of it. And look at this. Nice roots come out from Twisted, gonna completely negate Bap's ult. And Bap, got the little space there. He's sitting right there. He's right there, Twisted. Get him! And M1 comes out. Nice damage there. Just completely shutting him out. He's got those rockets off, and boom. What did he do? He ulted in his face. No projectile can go through that wall. and just completely negated any kind of damage that Bap could have done there, and trapped 2 teammates in it. That was an excellent ult from Twisted right there to take that pressure off of his team. I mean, look at this, top of the damage, 432. The guy's a monster.
Yeah, the guy really is. And, 428 on the Alchemist? Wow. Wow, that's or 478, I should say. That is
a busy battle right there.
That's almost more than double what Blazo could do. Alchemist heals are very potent. And Taz, he just couldn't get onto him. Mizotu was keeping him busy with the ice arrows and trying to apply that counter pressure. And I guess that's the cold team strategy right here. As it looks like, Taz could be in a good spot to use that shadow. And here he is, Bap. Gonna have to get another side. Look at this. Tazosaurus just using everything he can. Goo comes out. Dr. Hell No gonna have to waste that and can't do any damage with it. And look at this. In the meantime, Bap is losing to Mizotu over here. This is not a very good fight. Mizotu now being pressured by Tazosaurus and Bap. 3 M1 stacks. Gonna be able to give a lot of, fast cast times to Bap right there. And a great pull from Twisted off on the corner. It's very hard when you're shooting downrange as a gunner or any class whatsoever to see, a pull coming from the side that's right behind you, and that got him out of position. That pull into an M1, just enough damage to finish off Bap, who is taking early damage from Mizotu and getting bursted down quite a bit. I think almost every other side has gone on to Bap these past couple rounds, and Tazosaurus really having a much more difficult time getting onto Dr. Heleno. Like, why do you think that is, Taz? Or not Taz, but
it's
similar.
Excellent, man. We're seeing some great adaptation coming out of the cold team right now. Twisted is doing a great job of coming back and peeling for Dr. Hellno, and so Dr. Hellno has more time to get heals out onto Mizo, give barriers to Mizotu, and allow him to take more risks to one-on-one against Bap like he's doing now. You see, Dr. Hellno has got free reign to throw barrier on him, throw heals at him, so he can afford to take a little bit more damage to get that burst off. And Blazo right now feeling the brunt of that. Already forced to other side. Nice. Catches him with that blitz. Not going to let him get that heal off. And right now, Twisted and Mizo both on top of Blazo. This could be a kill right now. Fire arrow to the back. They need to get this equalizer, and they do. Very nice. Good job from them. And Twisted already at 50% HP. Both of them sitting at 50% HP, but Mizo uses his ult right now. This is the damage that they need to do. Nice silencing from Bap to stop that fire arrow coming out. But can Mizo capitalize? He needs to get it. And Taz doing a great job of taking down Twisted. In the meantime, Mizo is going to be hard-pressed to pull out a win right now. And Bap, very, very nice snipe right there. And that's just going to seal it up. But, we're seeing a lot of mind games. I love it right now. Good coordination coming out from the cold team. But look at that. Twisted stopped covering Dr. Hellno's back. And immediately, Warm Team takes advantage and all swap onto Alchemist. Just too much damage there and no Thorn to peel for him. Just couldn't take it.
Yeah, no, and I mean, that's one thing about Alchemist. Limited mobility. We keep saying this over and over every week, and I thought he actually dodged the mushrooms right there. He's actually going to use Puncturing Strikes to get those invulnerability frames so he didn't get, rooted. But look at that, nice deadly injection from Dr. Hellno. Going to slow Tazosaurus down, reduce the damage he does. And look at that, he's going to use his Shadow Hunt right now. He's going to look maybe for some damage onto Dr. Hellno. Dr. Hellno going to hide in his goo as Tazosaurus, look at that, forced out of the fight. But look at this, Dr. Hellno now shooting or getting hit by all those rockets from Bap, but a nice pull by Twisted, and he could be going down, and Blazo did not have anything for him as Mizotu was just onto Blazo, so good distraction right there because Blazo was trying to heal himself. He didn't have any time to heal, Bap, I should say, and that forced the kill onto both of them coincidentally because you cannot out-heal any kind of damage that's being done to you, and, if you have the healer healing himself, Bap, who's a squishy gunner, will go down pretty easily, especially to a Thorn who's got a lot of control onto him. Limited mobility on the gunner. Like, once you have your rocket jump down, you are pretty much sitting meat. They can, predict where you go in stealth. So here you go, Sim.
Yeah,
take this
Mizo
one.
already forced illusion. He did blitz, so right now he's pretty prime right now for Tazosaurus to get onto it. But Taz going to get caught in that ice arrow. Not looking good right now. 50% HP. Blazo with the swap in there, but that's a bit questionable, seeing as how Mizotu is right there to put some pressure on him. And Twisted, man, going to work on Taz right now. Taz definitely losing this battle, and he's taking way too much damage. He's sitting pretty at like 30% HP, but this is not looking good for them. Cold Team just sitting very nicely right now. They have almost full HP all across the board. Warm Team need to make something happen here, and they need to stop getting caught in those ice arrows. Tazosaurus, come on, man. And look at this, roots come out from Twisted, going to stop any of that pressure coming out, and nice pull back into the roots on Bap. Going to get that kill. We have Guardian Spirit coming up from Blazo, and he needs to get a counter kill right now to have any kind of chance, but it's not enough.
No way.
Silence, and it's just going to be game over. Fire arrow to the face, going to knock him back. Some tasty damage from that. And just, no, Tazosaurus, love you, my man, but it's not going to be enough. 3v1 and, 5-3 for this Cold team, wrapping it up.
Yeah, so another tourney is going to be out of another tourney, as they are going to be getting eliminated in this second round. Is it second round? No, it's third round. Man, I have not updated my overlay on the bottom. I apologize. And, right there, Dr. Hellno just able to out-heal that single pressure that Taz was putting onto him early. And then Bap getting, I think he got, Thorn threw his ultimate out. And you're just like, well, Thorn, you missed everybody pretty much. But he's always got that pull onto Bap every time. Like, the gunner is just not looking for it. And he gets pulled back into the roots, and it's game over from there because he dies soon after. The pull does damage. Once you get hit into the roots, it does damage. You can't disabling shot because the Thorn is standing in there, and all projectiles that hit the deadly roots are negated, like, on the spot. So,
yeah, and Twist is just playing Thorn, playing his little, green heart out. I mean, he's just landing those pulls every time, and that's exactly what a Thorn needs to be doing. If a Thorn isn't landing his pulls, he's just a piece of vegetation walking around on the field. And, Twisted, definitely not that. That guy was baller status, just landing all of his snares, all of his roots, all of his everything. His pulls, I mean, just Johnny on the spot with the pulls for Dr. Hellno, for the peel. And, this guy just wrapped it up at the end there. Those last 2 rounds, just solid play, getting those pulls off and coordinating well with Mizotu to get that burst out when they needed it. And, all around, I'm just really impressed with this play. This guy, he's always been a really solid player. And to see these 3 working together, Mizotu, an ex-teammate of mine, we've played quite a bit, and he's just so smart about the game. I'm really glad to be seeing these guys advancing on into the next round.
Yeah, and, Mubba Dunga, they have proven themselves a little bit. Like, where have they placed in the Gotkunju tourneys? Haven't they been like top 3 out of?
Nearly always in grand finals, to be honest.
Really,
it's pretty much always been between them and Acid and Hypnotoads to decide. For the week, it's they have got the skill. And really, it's really just working out the kinks and getting the coordination down that I think is kind of just holding them back from really showing themselves in the BLG tourneys as well. That and Mizotu kind of taking his extended break. He took maybe 2-3 weeks off there, and it kind of broke down the team coordination that they had built up there. So they need to get back together and play as much as they can together, to recoup on that time that was lost. But I'm expecting great things out of these guys. These guys are just, all of them are solid, very, very strong players. So nothing's really holding them back except for just play time, I suppose. They just need to get some more play and work better as a team. To work better as a team. Yeah,
and actually one thing that we did an interview with SK Gaming, and they said they didn't start out as the greatest team. And I remember in the tournaments when I commentated back in closed beta for this game, they weren't the best team out there, and they slowly made their way up after just constantly, week after week, day after day, practicing as a team in matchmaking, or even back then in custom games, because there was only about like 300 people that played the game in total, and I would say there was only about 20 U.S. players tops.
Yeah, it was pretty slim pickings back then.
Yeah, and I mean, it was just like, oh wow, there's like 10 U.S. players online right now. Amazing, custom game it up. But, they said they developed their kind of individual play for the first month. They already had good individual play, but, working as a team, they, developed their individual play a little bit after a month. And then after 2 months of, playing every day, they decided to, do more strategy and, how they're going to play offensive or defensive in certain, compositions or lineups, what they're exactly going to do in specific, situations. They got their communication down. They said, we're going to keep it to a minimum. We're going to just call out some of the core out abilities like illusion used or blitz used, fleet foot used, something like that the other team, so that they know when to punish, because they've been playing for so long and their individual play is so good that they only needed a couple key call-outs, and they know who to focus at that point. So, and Chip Zion will call for help if he needs it, but like I said, their individual play has just been so spectacular that, Chip Zion can hold his own 1v1, and the other two just go and try and duke it out as, look at this. Trolling you. We've got a Ravner. We've got a Alchemist
healer comp.
and a Astronomer. So you got the double AR. So AAR. And then we've got Mega Chair. I don't know. He's trying to troll and be like Mega Zero. We've got double Astronomer Gunner on the Cold team. So this is actually going to be pretty interesting. We have double healer on both sides. And then we have, Ravener, melee DPS versus Gunner, range DPS.
I'm actually thinking that, Cold Team has the advantage here. If they can keep Taunted off of the Gunner, Cold Team has so much burst capability that somebody's just going to get blown up. And I'm really thinking that Finesse is going to have to be out on the ball about avoiding, those executes and those space into Spectral Strikes, because that's really what Cold Team's going to revolve around right here. But look at this, this is what I was talking about, and Taunted already taking so much damage. Both Astros just getting in on top of him, landing those Spectral Strikes, and McNubbin, McNubbin kind of whipping his space there. But, I mean, look at that, that's exactly what I was talking about. Double space and double Spectral Strike. 50 damage straight up. It's just too much damage. It's unhealable, and that's what you see a lot of these Astro comps and twos. That's what it's all centered about. It's just getting in there, doing that burst, surviving, recouping, and then doing it again. And each and every time, the opposition is just going to be a little bit lower, until, eventually you just land that burst once again, and boom, they're dead. And that's, this is what we're seeing right now. Mega Chair and Getho just doing an excellent job of getting in there, landing the burst that they need to. And, on top of that, Gunner with the silence. It's just such a hairy situation to be in.
Yeah, Taunted, I believe his ultimate got Spell Lock, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had his ultimate, but he couldn't get it off, whether it was because, he got moonbursted and it takes a little bit of a cast time, or it was spell locked. I completely forgot which one it was. I think it was spell locked, and that's really unfortunate. And good control right there by